Does it feel like you and your man are more roommates than lovers? When every other evening ends up with you feeling frustrated and hurt that he's not being the romantic, spontaneous guy you fell in love with? All while he sits there on the couch, just watching TV, doing nothing? Wouldn't you just want to burn down that frustrating piece of furniture and get him to chase you like he used to when you first started dating? And shower you with love, affection, and sweet little romantic gestures? To have him spoil you with tiny gifts? Not expensive ones, but small, meaningful, romantic presents based on subtle, little-known details that only he knows about you? Or simply have him be there for you when you need him the most, patiently listening, not judging, and holding you tight in his arms? Because between you and me, you're tired of him not really listening, right? While you're laying your heart on the table, telling him everything you think and feel, he just nods his head indifferently or gives you simple, straightforward answers that aren't really saying much. Wouldn't you want to bring back all the intense love, burning passion, and unconditional romance back in your relationship or marriage, and have your man bending over backwards to please you, cherish you, and give you his undivided attention? Hey, my name is Chris. After working as an underground relationship counselor for over 20 years and helping thousands of couples around the world rekindle their lost love and enjoy healthy, exciting, and romantic relationships, would you be curious to know what I've discovered about reawakening any man's inner Prince Charming, even if he's acting completely disinterested and so aloof that you think you might have lost his love forever? You would? Great. See this puppy here? His name is Milo. I've discovered that cute little Milo over here holds the secret to reigniting the flame of romance in any man's heart, regardless of how cold, distant, unromantic, or stubborn he's become, and even if it seems like he's settled in the relationship. And don't worry, this isn't your regular and a bit offensive how to train your man like a dog nonsense. After all, I'm a man and it would be weird for me and my ego to say such things. It has nothing to do with manipulation, changing who you are, any sort of trickery, or adding drama to your relationship. I will tell you though, this is a very controversial presentation. I've had people say it completely changed their understanding of men and relationships. So unless you really want to learn the truth about sparking intense, undeniable feelings inside a man's heart, I suggest you leave this page right now. The fact of the matter is, bringing back the romance in your relationship or marriage and unlocking the floods of romance and desire in your man's heart really all comes down to one little known secret that I'll reveal to you in just a sec. Let me explain. Remember that cute puppy I introduced you to a few moments ago? There's one particular thing Milo has in common with your man. Can you guess what it is? Well, it's the couch. Milo loves the couch. It's comfortable. He can just lay there all day long with no stress whatsoever. It's just part of his lifestyle. Your man sees the couch kind of the same way. However, let's stop thinking about it as a piece of furniture for a moment. Fact of the matter is, the couch symbolizes something deeper. It's a symptom of his behavior. I call it his habitual relationship comfort zone. It's a dark, cold place where his daily habits reside. Things like washing up, eating, watching TV, having a casual conversation with you, maybe doing some relationship chores, but nothing proactive. He doesn't feel the urge to pursue and do romantic, sweet gestures because he got used to this lifestyle with you. The problem becomes thus getting him off the couch, or in other words, getting him out of his habitual relationship comfort zone. So how do you do this? Well, how would you get Milo off the couch? You certainly don't do it the way I first did it. I tried punishing him, pushing him away with my bare hands, and even kicking him out of the living room. None of that worked. Some tricks worked once or twice, but he'd always get back on the couch sooner or later. Especially when I wasn't home. He was one lazy dog, I'll tell you that. When it comes to your man, all of this is like trying to reason with him, getting out of your way to do romantic stuff together, planning your way back into his heart through different activities and hoping he'll eventually be the one initiating these sorts of things. Maybe you even tried convincing him to go to a relationship counselor together and he flat out denied the idea. If you're like most of the women I've helped, you probably tried those things already and ended up with your man annoyed, angry, or even pushed him further away. Nothing worked with Milo until I applied this weird puppy training secret. I could see that something changed in him. Every time I came home, he just rushed at my feet with a ton of energy, basically begging me to go out and play with him. From me dragging my dog off the couch and literally begging him to be more active, we got to the point where he was proactively initiating things. Every time he saw me, he had a huge surge of energy that got his heart and body pumping with joy and excitement. It was like an instant trigger of happiness to him. Now, when you apply my little puppy training secret to your man, you'll trigger every cell in his body to glow with love for you. He'll feel a burst of energy and internal motivation every time he sees or thinks of you, to do fun, exciting, and romantic things, so he shows you how much you really mean to him every single day for the rest of your life. This secret is like a magic trigger in your man's heart that automatically activates whenever you're around and gets him off his feet and into a frenzy of complete lust and desire for you. Sounds good? Great. Just make sure you listen carefully to every word of this presentation. Because although this strange puppy training secret will reignite the spark of passion, romance, and desire in your man's heart within days, most women find it a bit unconventional. Yet it's so effective that the guy you have your heart set on won't be able to imagine living his life on the couch, wasting precious time that could be spent loving and romancing you, because all he sees as joy, happiness, fulfillment, and pleasure, he'll also associate with you and only you for the rest of your life. First, we need to talk about the number one enemy that mentally blocks your man from offering you the kind of love and exciting romance you truly deserve. You see, I wasn't always an underground relationship expert. It all goes back to my childhood. "Do you even love me anymore?" asked my crying mother in the kitchen where we used to eat together like the happy family we once were. You could see through the tears how she was fighting tooth and nail, desperately trying to get the marriage back on track. My father was calm, cold, distant, and if I didn't know how much they used to love each other, in that moment I could have sworn she was just a stranger to him. I was a lonely 12-year-old kid who just sulked in his room, silent, confused, not being able to understand what was happening and why they were arguing. But I didn't need to understand or see their fights, because I could feel the coldness between my parents, the pressure and how tense everything was between them. He never hit my mother, but I could see the pain in her heart through her sobbing eyes. As much as one tries to hide it, a kid feels what's happening. Every time they'd argue, I used to call it mommy and daddy time. Yeah, it was that bad. They regularly sent me to my room, thinking I wouldn't hear everything. And while I was pretending to do my homework, I could feel how my dad was stabbing my mother's heart. Because all of the tension and unhappiness surrounding my family, I couldn't focus on anything, especially school. And every time people asked me what was wrong, I would just bow my head, turn around, and go the other way. But only I knew the hidden pain that kept growing in my heart. What was even worse, I secretly feared that it was all my fault, that all their love and romance faded because of me. And at times I'd cry and wish they'd never had me. Later in the argument from the kitchen, I heard one word that I couldn't comprehend back then, but that I later realized to be a living hell for a child. Divorce. I went into the living room, looked at the couch like an eagle looking at his prey, and said decisively, "It's your fault." But what was it back then that made me act in such a strange way? Fast forward 25 years and over 1,536 relationships rekindled later, I understood that it was that moment I had discovered the number one enemy when trying to reignite the flame of romance in a relationship or marriage, even when your man seems to have lost all interest. And it all comes down to the common piece of furniture you may be sitting on as we speak, your couch. Right now, it represents everything wrong with your man and relationship. Basically, the couch is the enemy. Sounds weird, right? In other words, the habitual relationship comfort zone is the enemy. Does it make more sense now? Okay, think about it for a sec. Aren't you tired of seeing your man embracing the couch every evening, watching TV or playing on his stupid phone or tablet, completely oblivious to you and what's going on around him? Doesn't it seem like the only place he's still energetic, romantic, and passionate is in your old photo albums? Truth is, those feelings are still inside of him, alive and well. He's just channeling them on the wrong things. TV shows, hanging out with his buddies, playing games, watching sports, or whatever else he might be doing that doesn't involve you. As with all good things in life, the romance, passion, and excitement are outside his comfort zone. Shifting to that point results in him being proactive about you, your love, and the relationship. He'll cherish you again and pursue you like he did in the beginning, when you were madly in love with each other and nothing else mattered, because he'll remember how good it feels to gently hold you in his arms again, and he'll never want to let you go. In a few moments, I'll reveal how to shift him out of his habitual comfort zone and into a place where you are his only source of love and happiness. So he finally opens up, honestly speaks his heart out, carefully listens to every word, and feels an overwhelming desire to be romantic, caring, and charming with you and only you. And it all comes down to the little-known puppy training secret that you'll be able to use to respark the romance starting today. The funny thing? I discovered this secret along with my mother, at just the age of 12. The painful truth is that my parents got separated. I, of course, stayed with my mother. Only later I'd understand the difficulties this woman went through being a single mom. I suffered. For the first time in my life, I had to split my time and emotions between my parents. On the outside, it may not sound that bad. Heck, maybe you were lucky enough and didn't have to go through the same nightmare I did. But trust me, from a child's perspective, it's living hell having to speak separately with your parents, one by one, instead of sharing beautiful moments together as a family. One day, while I was out with my mom and Milo in the park, In the native tone of a 12-year-old kid who doesn't understand relationships, I asked her, "Mommy, why can't you make Daddy be nice to you? The way you make Milo bring back the ball?" With a sad, shaky voice, she replied, "Oh dear, if it only were that easy." However, the look on her face betrayed the tone in her voice. I could see how this sparked an idea in her mind, and I saw her face light up immediately. We rushed back home, and she excitedly started researching something on the computer. I couldn't tell what. One night, a few weeks later, I went into the living room, and there he was. My dad in a suit with roses in one hand, firmly holding my mom's waist with his other hand, and kissing her passionately like there was no tomorrow while telling her through the kisses how much he loved her. Yes, they got back together. But more importantly, my dad finally remembered, realized, and reacted to the conclusion that my mom was the woman of his dreams, and he didn't want anybody else to spend the rest of his life with. Ever since, he's been going out of his way to cherish, appreciate, and make my mother feel loved and happy. Fast forward to the present. The happy old couple up here? These are my parents. They're in their 70s, married for over 40 years, and every other day I visit them, it's like they're still in their honeymoon phase. Seeing a 74-year-old man going to the garden, carefully choosing that perfect daisy, slowly walking back to the house, trying to hide the daisy behind his back, and when he offers it to my mother, her eyes fill with joy and love. Sometimes she sheds a tear. Not a, "Aw, that's so sweet" tear, more like a, "I'm so happy I got the chance to grow old with you" tear. I couldn't understand at the age of 12 how their marriage made such a fast U-turn. I did feel that, in one way, I helped my mother, and just didn't know how. All I remember is that next day she came to me and said, "Sweetie, all of this happened because of you." Only a few years later did she explain that my naive question from the park gave her an idea, and she kept researching and researching until she found this strange puppy training secret which turned out to be the catalyst of her relationship. The moment my mom told me this, it gave me a huge, warm satisfaction in my heart that, indeed, I helped rekindle her relationship. That was the same moment that I decided I wanted to help people with their relationships as a living. So I went to college, got my degree in psychology, started counseling couples, and never looked back. I became what many started calling me an underground relationship expert. Underground because, honestly, I never liked the media coverage and stuff. It's just not my style. And although I've been through a ton of research and studies about relationship dynamics, male psychology, and what makes or breaks successful relationships, nothing compares with the power of this little-known puppy training secret. The results were amazing, and nothing in this world gives me more satisfaction than the letters from my happy customers when they use the secret in their relationships. Take, for example, Natasha from New York. Okay, at first I thought this was offensive. I mean, how could I train my man like a dog to love me? But boy, did I get it all wrong. This has nothing to do with emasculating him. It's just reawakening him to me, the relationship and the wonderful, romantic, and loving man he used to be. And it worked gangbusters with my Lenny. Thank you so much. With love, Rebecca. I decided to focus all my efforts on expanding this secret, defining its deeply rooted positive psychological effects on men, and ultimately turning it into a blueprint that literally any woman can follow to success. More about the blueprint in just a moment. So I picked my mother's brain, as well those of other hundreds of women who've used this secret and successfully rekindled the spark in their relationship or marriage, and started analyzing every aspect of what made them successful. I already had the psychological know-how, so it was easier for me to understand everything that was happening. Here's a glimpse of how it all works. One of the most famous psychologists in history, Ivan Pavlov, performed a strange experiment on dogs where he rang a bell and paired it with food until the sound of the bell was enough to make the dog salivate. This is learning by association, aka classical conditioning or Pavlovian conditioning. And it works on dogs and people. You see, classical conditioning is an incredibly effective way of learning, through which associations are formed between events occurring in the real world and emotional responses in the individual. The dog began to salivate when it noticed things associated with food, such as the plate or even the sight of the person who usually brought it to him. Classical conditioning is based on a stimulus-event-emotion sequence, which, done in a repetitive manner, will soon have the stimulus itself trigger the emotion. Take any dog, for example. Maybe you have one too. The stimulus is you. The event is that he gets a treat, and the emotion is a pleasant feeling. Repeated enough times, just the sight of you triggers a pleasant feeling inside the dog. Ever notice how untrained dogs get overly excited and change to an unexpectedly good behavior when they see people that usually give them food? The association with a pleasant feeling of fulfilled hunger sparks a deep, uncontrollable reaction of excitement which motivates the dog to jump up and down and do whatever the person that gives him food asks. Remember when you first started dating, how your man used to always get out of his way to impress and romance you in every way he could think of? That's because he activated his inner Prince Charming every time he saw or simply thought of you. Right now, your man might associate you with negative feelings, or even worse, neutral feelings such as comfort or something stable. To respark the romance, bring back the excitement in your relationship and have him bending over backwards to make you feel loved and appreciated again, he needs to permanently associate you at a deep psychological level with positive feelings such as joy and love. By doing this, you become his only stimulus for whatever he sees as happiness and fulfillment. When you use everything you learned in this presentation today, you'll see how your man will activate his best self and light up whenever you are in the room, because he'll unconsciously know he's going to get the only treat he'll ever need. Your love. Okay, everything clear so far? Great, because I'm about to break down the entire process for you. In order for your man to associate you once again with deep, intense, positive emotions and reignite the spark of love between you two, he needs you to do these 3 things. First, you have to shift his mind. That is, you must mentally shift him out of his habitual relationship comfort zone and spark him in the idea that he wants a more exciting, intense, and romantic relationship with you and only you. No, this has nothing to do with manipulation or changing his mind. If you're like most of my clients, your man is like a closed shell now, right? All his romance and excitement towards you are bottled up inside him. He simply left them there and forgot how good he used to feel when he cherished you openly with all of his heart. That's why first you want to gently open him up to the idea of an exciting, romantic, and worry-free relationship, where he finds himself not just willing, but eager to give you all the attention you deserve. Here's the thing. You can't just command your man to respark the romance the same way you can't just put one hand on your hip and order a flower to grow. It's not something you can reason with him. Instead, he has to come to the realization completely on his own. As with the flower, all you can do is offer him the right conditions for this idea to grow. I'll show you exactly how to do this in a way that he'll listen to you and whatever it is you desire. And he'll listen with his heart, not just his mind. Secondly, you have to shift his mood. There are certain physiological differences between men and women that have been discovered by neuroscientists. Here's what you need to know. Men have 6.5 times more gray rational matter, while women have 9.5 times more white connecting matter in their brains. This simply translates to, men are better logical thinkers, while women are better emotional thinkers. This is why at times you feel he just doesn't get you. He's just not able to understand emotions the same way you do. That's why right here is where you start applying the classical conditioning principle with him. You must train his emotional intelligence so he associates you once again with positive thoughts and feelings. This makes his brain release instant dose of dopamine, the pleasure and motivation hormone, every time he thinks of or sees you. It automatically shifts his mood whenever he's grumpy and dismissive with you, to warm, positive, with an undeniable internal motivation to satisfy your deepest desires. He'll begin to feel how great it is to step out of his habitual relationship comfort zone and realize how wrong he was all those nights sitting on the couch in front of the TV when he could have been having so much fun romancing you. When you do all of this the way I show you today, you'll see an amazing shift in his behavior, as not only will you see his eyes glowing with joy every time you propose to do something or go somewhere, but he'll be the one proactively insisting to go out on date nights and do romantic things together. Okay, now here comes the last step. Thirdly, your man needs you to shift the relationship. Here's the truth. After you do the first 2 steps, you'll have your man going out of his way to make sure you feel constantly loved and connected to him, no matter how far apart you are. And you'll have the flame of love between you two burning more powerfully than ever. The hard part is, as you've already experienced, keeping it alive. That's why now you must shift your relationship from temporarily to permanently romantic and exciting. Once he starts drooling over you, like in the beginning, can you imagine what a huge power you'll have in your hands? Just like a puppy without its fur, when your man is romantic and speaks his heart in front of you, he feels emotionally naked. You must play your cards right and know exactly what rewards to give him in order to keep the spark ignited forever. And no, it's not sex. He needs to feel safe so he can do all of this without feeling like it's a big deal or that you have high expectations. And especially without any of the other guys knowing. Because here's the thing with this comfort zone. Just like the couch, it's tempting to just lay there and do nothing. It makes life simple and, of course, comfortable. It's in men's nature to become really comfy. There's a big chance that after a while, your man might feel attracted back towards it. That's why you need to know how to make it work when he's off the couch and out there in the wild with you. Like your very own relationship toolkit, where you just pick and choose what to tell him or what romantic thing to do today, and he'll be thrilled to do it. A word of caution though, you have to take great care with your actions. It's all in the details. One wrong move, and it's proven you'll end up right back where you are now. Sad, craving his attention, wanting him so badly to express his love, blindly hoping that things will work out somehow eventually, and instead of enjoying time with your soulmate, life passes you by like your roommates. I don't want this for you, especially when I can show you how to do it right, in a way that he won't be able to help but express his honest, undying love for you every single day for the rest of your life. Okay, Chris, how do I actually do all of this? Glad you asked. First, let me properly introduce myself. My name is Chris Bates, and I'm an underground relationship expert. I specialize in rekindling loveless relationships or marriages in even the most complicated situations. This means that whenever a woman has problems with her man or feels as if he's just so cold, distant, and lifeless, she comes to me. I've helped thousands of women all over the world successfully touch their men's hearts in ways they never thought possible and enjoy a healthy, devoted, and exciting relationship. All using the simple, incredibly effective method you'll get your hands on in just a few minutes. You see, after seeing, understanding, and validating the power of this method in so many relationships, it was clear to me that I had to spread the word. I knew there were just so many women out there who needed to use this with their men and enjoy the loving relationships they truly deserved. That's why I set myself on a mission, which I'm super excited about, and I'll tell you all about in just a moment. The point is, I had to get my message across and reach as many women as I could. And I knew one-on-one counseling was too slow. I decided to shift gears. I spent the following year extracting the key concept of the method and coming up with a complete strategy that you can use today. I took all my years of experience, the ins and outs of my many success stories, as well as tens of years of studies and psychological research, and laid them out in a simple, actionable way so you can get maximum results with minimum effort. The result, an easy-to-follow, powerful blueprint that I put together for you, and I call it the Relationshifter. Relationshifter is the only step-by-step relationship rekindling system of its kind that permanently shifts your man out of his habitual relationship comfort zone, shifts your relationship or marriage from boring, unromantic, and confusing to a place of proactive romance, excitement, and unconditional love, turns on his chase and cherish switch in a way that your man associates you once again with the deepest, happiest, and most fulfilling emotions, and activates his best romantic self whenever he's around you. You're about to get your hands on a system that is jam-packed with actionable advice based on solid psychological research, providing a simple step-by-step plan you can follow today that makes him remember, realize, and react to his love for you, as well as the conclusion that he's not been offering you the kind of attention and romance the woman of his dreams actually deserves, and now desperately wants to do everything he can to make things right. When you grab your copy of Relationshifter today, you'll discover a complete step-by-step blueprint for shifting your relationship in the fastest amount of time humanly possible to a place where love, intimacy, communication, and connection will not only survive, but thrive years, even decades. Secrets to getting your man to not only be interested, but 100% committed to rebuilding the romance and excitement between you two in a way that he'll bend over backwards to make you two be that amazing couple that everyone else is jealous of. Use these emotionally charged dates to reconnect with your man and create a bond so strong that makes Cupid jealous. Seriously, this is 100% science, yet it works like magic. One weird deep visualization technique that translates every little aspect of your dream relationship to your present relationship with the man you love. Men's hidden language. Understand how this works. You'll debunk everything he says forever. You'll interpret his words with complete accuracy, and you'll uncover what he really thinks, in a way that makes him feel that you're the one and only woman who really gets him and feels a connection so deep that he can't even explain. How to get your man to work for you in the way that gets him re-addicted to the chase. Here's a hint. If you don't appeal to these little-known hunter instincts he's biologically programmed to respond to, you can't get him to pursue you. Conversational techniques with men that only the happiest, most romanced, and cherished women know about. Once you start using these, you'll see how his eyes begin to glow with interest whenever you're talking to him, hanging on to every word you have to say. The biggest mistakes couples make. Here's another hint. You might be doing 3 of these as we speak that keep you and your man from ever experiencing love again. Simply being aware of these mistakes might very well save your relationship from any type of emotional disaster. Relationship U-turn. How to go from dysfunctional patterns such as bad habits to healthy, happy, proactive couple activities. The types of destructive relationships and how pivoting can save you from a painful divorce or breakup. The 4 attributes of harmonious, healthy marriages and how just by reading and understanding them, they'll be unconsciously propagated directly onto your marriage. Irresistible women's inner game secrets. How to master the 3 key principles that make any man drool uncontrollably when he sees you. How to kill the two demons of communication that prevent you from having deep, meaningful, and pleasing conversations with your man. Do this, and you'll enjoy the type of spiritual connection that most women only dream of. A simple first-grade equation that completely shifts your man's perspective and gets him to open up, be completely honest, and genuinely want to share his most hidden thoughts with you. One unconventional long-term relationship trick that makes him blush like a teenager, fills his heart with burning desire, and has him pursuing you like crazy just to get more and more from you. Hint, it's not what you think. The number one enemy of a forever-lasting romantic relationship that you can't avoid and must know how to handle. Communication ninja tactics so you can discuss the issues you have openly without fighting or arguing, in a way that you're both feeling you're progressing and are actually enjoying the talk every step of the way. Recommitment secrets you can use today to call back and enjoy the honeymoon phase once again, and this time it will last forever. In other words, you'll have a complete go-to manual to move past all difficulties with your man. Plus, you'll receive the complimentary Relationshifter workbook to follow the exercises and apply everything to your specific situation. And 4 bonuses I'll tell you about in a few moments that you'll absolutely love. So you could enjoy the most devoted, passionate, and romantic relationship possible with him. A relationship that's stronger than ever, stronger than anyone thought it could be. And you'll never have to fear that he'll as much as look at any other woman besides you. Here's just a tiny sample of what real customers are saying about the Relationshifter. Mary from Chicago says, "To be honest, I was a bit skeptical about the Relationshifter. I thought it would be like all of the other relationship guides. All talk, no play, but you, sir, over-delivered. After 18 years of marriage and 3 kids, me and my husband were feeling more like roommates than lovers. Your system changed all that. Now I can honestly say it still feels like we're in our honeymoon phase. The romance just keeps getting better and better. Thank you, Chris." Camellia from Los Angeles says, "Chris, I can't believe it. Your icebreaker letter actually worked. This morning he woke up, read it, rushed to his car, and came back in about a half an hour with a beautiful bouquet of lilies, my favorites, kissed me passionately, apologized for neglecting me, and said, 'Okay, hun, let's make this romance thingy work.' Not the most romantic line, I know, but I'm super excited to see him really trying." Roberta from England says, "My high school sweetheart of a husband started being cold, distant, and simply lifeless. We started living separately, and we were even in talks to file for divorce. Honestly, your course was my last cry for help, and it was completely worth it. We're back together now, enjoying a more exciting relationship than when we hooked up in high school, which is weird. Even my daughter's 17-year-old friends are jealous of us. LOL. But I sure do feel good about it. Thank you for all of this, Chris. Just thank you." Okay, here's what Relationshifter isn't. It is not a quick fix magic pill. Just by getting your hands on it today doesn't mean that the stars will align and all the issues between you and your man will just magically disappear. No. Especially since it's a long-term solution, it will require a little work and effort on your side. I will tell you this though, you will put in 10 times less work than all my counseling clients before you simply because of how well structured and efficiently I created the system. You get all the goodies without the BS and the hassle. By now, I think you're starting to feel how effective it could be and how much you want this. You might think the investment for such a program is high, and honestly it should be. Just counting all my years of research, experiments, and case studies that back this guide, all the hundreds of hours spent working with and interviewing couples in happy, romantic relationships, trying to demystify the exact elements that make them successful in the long run. All the sleepless nights trying to put all of this together. Let me ask you, how much would all of this be worth to you? Really, how much would it be worth to you to have that deep connection and love that most couples only dream of? To know that your man honestly tries to make it work, be romantic, and goes out of his way to reestablish the strong emotional bond you two used to have. We spend hundreds of pounds, thousands of dollars on shiny things like gadgets, fancy clothes, jewelry, and other stuff, which at the end of the day are just that. Lifeless objects that don't give us the emotional security, romance, and love we desire so much. So why do we invest so little in the most important aspect of our lives? Our relationships with the people we love? Listen, I'm going to continue to be completely honest with you. I usually charge $350 per hour for a one-to-one counseling session. And I don't advertise it anywhere. People just come to me by recommendations. I know it's a little pricey, but there's a reason for that. My advice solves problems. And now I have it all condensed into one easy-to-follow system. So what do you think would be a fair price for the Relationshifter? If you were to take 2 sessions per week for a month, that would mean $2,800. I know most women can't afford this, so I made it clear to my publisher that my goal is to reach as many women as possible with this information, and I wanted none of them to feel stressed, pressured, and needing to stretch their budget to conjure up the money. We talked and he insisted that I should price this at the bare minimum of $197, and he almost convinced me. I fought, negotiated, and forced my very stubborn publisher to offer a never-seen-before discount on the Relationshifter system, but only for a very short period of time. So you're not going to pay $197, not even $97. By ordering today through this page only, you get the entire Relationshifter system at a ridiculously low one-time payment of $47. That's less than a dress you'd wear a couple of times and eventually get bored of. Not to mention how much less this is than a huge amount of money you'd be spending on never-ending counseling, frustrating therapy, or even a messy, painful divorce or breakup. Instead, you're investing in your happiness with the man you love. The only thing is, the price could go back to $197 in a few hours, or maybe a few minutes from now. I'm not saying this to scare you, I just want to continue to be completely transparent with you. It's my duty to caution you because my publisher currently controls the price of this program, and not me. They're planning to raise the price soon, and it's not something I can control even if I wanted to. So why am I doing this for you today? Why did I almost cancel the contract with my publisher to get you this huge discount today? You see, my passion for helping women all over the world to rekindle their relationships developed at such heights that I set myself on a mission. I call it my 1 million rekindled relationships challenge. My goal is to help 1 million women reignite the spark in their relationship or marriage, have their man treat them in the most loving, compassionate, romantic way, and never have to worry about losing the flame of passion ever again. I know, 1 million women may sound like too much, but imagine if we could reach at least 10% of that goal, or even 20%. Wouldn't it be amazing? That's why I feel that I must make this high-value program more accessible for everyone. So just for joining me today in my 1 million rekindled relationships challenge, I'm going to give you the complete Relationshifter program, plus the following bonuses. Bonus number 1, the icebreaker letter. Imagine how your man's stream of love and romance is now being blocked by an invisible mental barrier. For him to completely open up and be his true passionate self, you simply need to remove this barrier. This simple, word-for-word, proven-to-work letter does this exact thing. It shifts his mind out of his habitual relationship comfort zone and removes any barriers of doubt, coldness, or disinterest that block him from exposing his heart to you, and sparks in him the idea that he genuinely wants an improved, exciting, and more romantic relationship with you, even if he's incredibly stubborn or you think you just can't touch his heart. The best part? This fill-in-the-blanks letter is already made for you, proven to work, and ready to be offered to him starting tomorrow morning. Just leave it where you can find it and let it do its magic. I've had a lot of women excitedly come back to me and say that this letter alone saved their marriage. Bonus number 2, the RDA Health Kit. RDA stands for Relationship Disaster Avoidance, and this bonus is your very own love health kit to patch things up if you're in a tough spot with your man. It removes any thoughts of separation or even divorce that he might have, forever. It gets you through the struggle of a delicate relationship that's hanging on a string and eliminates any negative thoughts your man might have about you or the relationship. Whether these are simple issues such as constant arguments, sarcasm, and ironies, or even the ugliest of fights, you learn how to handle all of them step by step in a way that he'll see you as his very own emotional safety net. Because you always know what to say and do, no matter how bad the situation is. It's like building a wall of happiness around yourselves. This special guide takes you through all the necessary steps to forge a strong bond with your man and fight-proof, cheat-proof, almost anything-proof your relationship. Just remember that you can't get this guide anywhere else. Bonus number 3, do-it-yourself counselor in a box. How about instead of spending thousands of dollars on couples counseling that you don't even know will work, you do it yourself at no cost from the comfort of your home? I've gathered the most efficient exercises from my entire experience as a relationship counselor and laid them in a simple, easy-to-follow, if this, do that guide you can use with your man at any time. Why is this a better alternative? First of all, it's easier to ask your man to do it. Instead of seeing his bitter face and having him dismissing any idea you might have about going to couples counseling, you'll actually have him excited about doing it just because how short, interactive, and constructive the sessions just between the two of you are planned out. The best part? You'll start seeing swift progress merely days after your first session. Special bonus number 4, I'll even include a free 30-day trial to my exclusive 6 months happily ever after challenge, where you and a few other select smart women will experience living a 100% fulfilling life, both as a spouse and an individual. Once you get your hands on each month's issue, you'll feel your heart pounding with enthusiasm, because you know you'll discover some new, exciting, and practical insider tricks and techniques to hack your way through life and marriage. Each month, you'll get to add one new healthy habit to your relationship that will get you to experience the energy, love, and life-renewing connection the two of you deserve. Do this, and you'll also be eliminating any toxic habit that may be surrounding your relationship as we speak. Simple math, right? Add a good habit, remove a bad one, and you get 2 benefits with 1 shot. If you're like most of my clients and want to wake up every morning with a smile on your face, feeling confident, happy with yourself, your life, and loved unconditionally by the one man of your dreams, then this club is for you. Okay, in a nutshell, as part of this special gift for you today, you'll get the complete Relationshifter system with its complimentary workbook, at least a $197 value all by itself, the Icebreaker letter valued at $27, RDA Health Kit, another $39 value, the Do-It-Yourself Counselor in a Box, yet another $37 value, and of course, the special 30-day trial to a 6 months happily ever after challenge, an exclusive $29 bonus. That's more than $300 worth of value, so you could enjoy a deep, emotional connection with your man and watch him go from not interested to fascinated. Knowledge that will help you enjoy a great, honest, and loving relationship without the drama and outside influences of other women. And today, I want to give you all of this for more than 80% off its original value. Just $47. All you have to do to get started is click the big yellow button below, and you'll be taken to the secure page to complete your order. You'll gain instant access to everything and will be on the road to shift the relationship with your man tonight. As soon as you click the button below, you'll be brought to the ClickBank order page. You'll be able to process your order and will be able to download the complete Relationshifter system just 2 short minutes from now. Your privacy is fully protected and guaranteed by McAfee Antivirus and Norton Secured. The billing is discreet and private, the access is digital and instant, and it's completely anonymous. No mystery boxes shipped to your door. No one will ever know you are using this. And of course, you're backed by my 60-day shift it or leave it 100% money back guarantee. Here's how it works. Order today, use the material. If you aren't blown away by it, and if you don't get results, just email me within 60 days and I'll gladly refund your every penny. As I told you, I love helping people. And if for some reason I'm not able to offer you results, then I truly believe I don't deserve your money. I've been doing this for quite some time now and helped a lot of women with their relationships by using this product. All in an honest and ethical way. The vast majority of women come back to me and say, "Chris, your guide is amazing. It's worth 10 times the small amount you asked me to invest." Now, a small percentage do say, "Sorry, Chris, but this is not for me." If that's you, if you really tried this out, and it's not for you, simply let me know. I'll immediately give you your money back and we'll part as friends. I'm taking a huge risk here. You could very well get my system, use it, forge the relationship of your dreams, and then ask for your investment back. But I trust you. The fact that you've watched this far means that you're willing to fight for your relationship, so I know you're a good person and that you're not going to abuse my kind nature and take advantage of this offer. Ready to shift your relationship? You're just 1 click and 2 minutes away from getting your hands on all the tools you need to shift to romance mode, have your man revealing the incurable romantic inside him, and have the security of a forever loving, passionate, and exciting relationship in which he won't just pack up his bags and leave all of a sudden. Just click the big yellow button below and get instant access now. Listen, you have a simple choice to make, and if you think about it, only 3 options. Option 1, let time fix it. Wait till you're old, wait till he's bored, wait for him to come back to terms on his own, have a random revelation, and be romantic all of a sudden, while you're feeling frustrated that he doesn't offer you the attention you love and deserve. Wait till he realizes what a mistake he's made by not being his true self, while you continuously beat your head against the wall trying to make it work. Wait for him to go from cold and distant to frozen and inexistent in your life, and risk being one of the couples that lie to everybody that it just didn't work out when you knew that it was happening all along. By watching this far, it shows me that what you've been doing so far just isn't working for you. But more importantly, it shows me that you want to change and you're willing to take action to make it happen. Option 2, try to make it on your own. You can very well take what you learned today in this presentation, try to figure out on your own exactly what to do, and hope for good results. You can do this, but I can tell you from my experience, and the terrible stories I hear every day, that the odds of you pushing his wrong emotional hot buttons and causing him to blow up at you, ignore you, or pull farther away from you are very high. Option 3, risk nothing. Get the Relationshifter today, go through it, use the material, apply the techniques, and don't let another day pass without proper guidance. I created this program so that anyone can pick it up and just use it. No guesswork, no grasping at straws. If you act now, you get instant access to a step-by-step system that you simply follow to success. I hope you can imagine this. 5 minutes from now, you can have all the material laid out in front of you. You can go follow it. You can go through the exercises I give you and prepare for the new excitement, passion, and intimacy you've been craving for so long. And there really is no risk as you're protected by my 60-day shift it or leave it 100% money-back guarantee. So click the big button below and start fighting for his love right now. Okay, if you got here, it means that you might have some questions. Here are the things people ask me most often. Can I really trust your 60-day guarantee? Yes, but in case you don't, I've made sure you don't have to trust me. I'm a lot like you and take my online security seriously. That's why all payments are processed by ClickBank, the leading online digital products distributor. If I do anything to cross you over, these guys will not only have your back and return your money, they'll make sure I get in trouble also. So you have a backup no matter what. It's like a guarantee to the guarantee. How quickly will I get the Relationshifter? My program is a digital product, which means you can have it delivered to your computer, phone, or tablet in less than 2 minutes, so you can actually start using it today. Is my credit card safe? And what will show up on my bill? It's not me personally who's going to be charging your card. The transaction is processed by the online payment processor, ClickBank, and that's what will show up on your bill. ClickBank has hundreds of thousands of customers every single month, and they've been doing this for a very long time. They're very prompt with their services and handle money with care. Your credit card security is guaranteed and is 100% safe. ClickBank uses 256-bit secure encryption, which means there's no way that your private information could be intercepted by a third party. It's very, very safe. It all seems so weird. What if I can't do it? If you can read and speak English, you can do it. I split the system in 2 sections. One that teaches you how everything works and gets into really advanced techniques, and the complimentary workbook which puts all the pieces together and gives you the exact steps you need to take tailored to your specific situation. Honestly, all the work has been done for you. It's child's play, really. What if I have questions later on about your product? I know each marriage is different, so you don't have to worry. If at any time during the 60 days, or even after your warranty expires, you find that you're stuck, all you have to do is drop me a simple email on the address I'll share with you in the members area, and I'll make sure to reply in 48 hours tops. Are your teachings based on scientific research? I've been digging studies like crazy for the past decade. Everything I say is based on solid scientific evidence that's gathered at the end of the course, just in case you want to see it for yourself. What if my man won't react to your methods or even hate me for trying? No one's ever going to hate you for trying to make your relationship or marriage work. It's your right to be happy, and you have to fight for it. If there's one thing I learned as a kid growing up in a dysfunctional family, is that everything good in life is obtained through sacrifice. And yes, sometimes even through tears. If you ask me, it's better to cry, because progress with your spouse is a little slower than you thought than crying out of hopelessness. All that's left now is to click the button below and shift your relationship today.